Is this thing on? Welcome everyone, this is Franco, and trying out something a little different. If you could guess from the title, I am doing a combo unboxing and movie review of a movie that I've been waiting for forever. Been waiting for since Thanos was first teased in the first Avengers about 8 years ago-ish. So what I'm gonna do is I got some Funkos since our last time I posted a video, and I also saw Infinity War a couple times or so. So I'm gonna do a review of the movie and some unboxings. I was very lucky to find this bad boy. Found them online and not on Amazon or eBay, on Walgreens of all places. I got super lucky, and let's unbox this bad boy. I thought it was gonna be like one of the bigger figures. I mean, he's pretty decent sized considering he comes in like the standard box. But still, I mean, I thought it was gonna come in like the like the Hulkbuster size box. All right, so as far as the movie itself, I am gonna drop spoilers. It's been a week, and I know that tickets sometimes are hard to come by because of how popular this movie is. Apparently, it's been selling out and hit all kinds of records, and it's all kinds of craziness. But here we go. So there's a lot of freaking detail on the figure, as you can see. A whole bunch of scaliness. His head is really freaking heavy. Well, actually, most of his figure is like really freaking solid. This is Cull Obsidian. This was the one that I was missing from my last video. Basically, he's one of Thanos' henchmen. Thanos, in and of himself, was a beast. He was pretty much one of the best villains that the MCU has, and it was just freaking crazy. There's no like warm-up period to the movie. There's no like it assumes that you've already seen the last 18 movies. So like I said, it's been 18 movies, and those are your lead up. I saw some of the reviews for the movie. The only negative reviews that I saw had to do with how things were rushed and how there was no explanation on who was what. They've given you 18 movies of background on pretty much everybody. So if you can't follow through or don't know who A, B, or C is, that pretty much falls on you, because they've given you 10 years of setup for this movie. So, sorry, but not sorry. It's your fault if you can't follow or you don't know who's who. Yeah, so moving on. The next one, I actually had this in the last video, but I totally glanced over him and totally forgot and didn't unbox him. This is the Hulkbuster. You see him in the trailer. No surprises there. So continuing with the movie, the movie basically walks you through Thanos. It's a Thanos movie. That's the only like introduction that you get, or a character introduction that you get for anybody new. You get Thanos pretty much from like the first 5 minutes. He's causing all kinds of havoc. So you have within the first 5 minutes, you have him dropping people, like characters that you've known for 10 years basically, more or less. You have, again, spoiler warning, it's Thanos pretty much offs Heimdall within first few minutes of the movie starting. Also, he beats the ever-living crap out of the Hulk. So much so that Hulk kind of refuses to come out for the rest of the movie. So that was like a serious beatdown. And again, you know, spoiler warnings, Loki gets taken out again within 5 minutes of the movie starting. So this pretty much just set up to show you that Thanos isn't somebody to trifle with, and he just is there to complete his mission, which is to gather the 6 Infinity Stones. They kind of explain that in the trailer as well. But yeah, yeah, you can tell he's not there to mess around. There's no levity to him at all whatsoever. Now, this is the Hulkbuster, the updated Hulkbuster. I think it's about the same size as the one for Age of Ultron. Thing about this is that this one feels a lot sturdier. Like it feels really freaking heavy. Not that the other one was light or anything, but there's a lot of freaking detail in this. The head wobbles as all the Marvel ones, but doesn't wobble as much as the Age of Ultron one. The paint scheme is obviously the same. You have all kinds of stuff going on back here. There's a little, you know, schmidgens of stuff there, but I mean, there's a lot of freaking detail to this. The paint job is like awesome. So I got lucky on this one. I've had this kicking around for a bit, so I'm glad that I finally I've been able to unbox it. And like an idiot, I can't believe I forgot about it in the last video. And I had it then, but either way. So moving on to the next one. When I first saw this Funko, I thought that it was a huge spoiler, and I was kind of really upset when I saw it. The Hulk busting out of the Hulkbuster. So I was really pissed off when I saw this, and I was like, "Damn it, Funko! What are you doing to me? You're like," and it came out right before the movie, right before the movie was like widely released. So I was a bit upset. So luckily this doesn't happen in the movie. So yeah, so it may happen in the next one, but not in this one. So then, alright, there's a lot of freaking detail in this bad boy as well. So you have Hulk hulking out, as he should have done in the last movie. Again, this might be a spoiler for the next one, but as far as this movie goes, not so much. You can see all kinds of internal stuff going on. I don't know if you can tell, all this white stuff is actually, over here too, is glue residue from when they glued the Hulk in there. So yeah, he doesn't move at all whatsoever. It's like, I think this is, what the hell, dude? Look at this. What is all this nonsense? It's like some kind of weird dust on it. Alright, I'm gonna have to clean this bad boy at some point. But either way, so, Jesus. It's like, almost like crazy glue residue or something. But holy shit. Anyway, back to the movie. So then the movie rushes forward, but it's weird, like a lot of stuff happens, but it doesn't feel like it's like a lot of stuff happens, but it doesn't feel like unorganized. Like all of it made sense. Like everything had a purpose, and it was very well organized. Like a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of love went into the movie from what I can tell. So I was extremely pleased. Again, the ending, you know what, I'm gonna skip like the ending and not ruin it because it's, even if the far chance that you've made it this far, I don't want to ruin it for anybody. So long story short, the movie was freaking incredible. I definitely want to see it again. I've seen it twice on IMAX and once on 4DX. 4DX, I liked it, but at the same time, it was a little bit much. I was glad that I had seen it prior to on IMAX first, and then seen it on 4DX, because I think because there was so much stuff going around, or stuff going on, it was more of a distraction than, it wasn't really, it didn't feel like it enhanced the movie that much. It just felt like it was a distraction. Had I not seen it beforehand, I think it wouldn't have been as impactful, especially later on in the movie. The action scenes were incredible. The way that they kind of present Thanos to you, it was very, like, it made him almost sympathetic. They put a lot of effort into the CG and the mocap, and like Josh Brolin's performance in it. Like, it was like top notch. Like, there was a lot of instances, like, obviously it's a big purple guy with a giant weird chin, and so it's kind of, you gotta suspend disbelief a little bit, but you forget that he's a CG character, and that is like huge in my opinion. I think you did a really good job if they made you forget that what you're looking at is a big CG guy. But yeah, I was extremely impressed, and there's a lot of like major characters that die off, a lot more than I expected. I was expecting like maybe 2 or 3, but like the body count were in the double digits, as far as the main characters. So I was extremely like surprised at that. But yeah, moving forward. And last but not least, we have the man himself. I got super lucky with this one. This 10th first 10 years of Marvel Studios. Apparently, this is going to be its own series of Funkos. They're going to have, I don't know how many, but this was the first one out, and there's no indications on the back as to who the next one might be. If you're not familiar with this scene, this is him on his floating chair in Guardians of the Galaxy. So let's pop this bad boy open. Now, honestly, I don't even want to put this one back in the box because he looks so freaking badass. So we have a little backdrop. We have all kinds of stuff over the years. These are actually movie scenes. I thought they were going to be like drawings and stuff, but this looks really cool. Okay. All right, back to the movie. This guy is, I heard basically Thanos being compared to this generation's Vader, or one of the biggest villains of all time, or greatest villains of of recent times, because and movie villain obviously, and I kind of agree with that, because the way they portrayed him is sort of like not just the bad guy. His purpose, although insane, kind of makes sense on paper, but it's still freaking obviously insane. And this movie was basically this generation's Empire Strikes Back. Everything, even like the movie came out in the 80s, and we still talk about it on its impact. And I think that this movie's gonna have the same impact. Like 10 or 20 years from now, I think people are still gonna be talking about Infinity War. I don't want to say it's gonna dethrone Empire Strikes Back as far as like messed up and like depressing ass endings, but it might be a close second, to be honest. You could hear a pin drop. The very first showing that I went to, which was opening night, was that Thursday night, and you could hear a pin drop as soon as the credits started rolling. Nobody got up. Everybody was in shock, and it took a bit to process what was going on. So now you have Thanos on his throne with his little floating little rockets thing here. And in Guardians of the Galaxy, you see him floating in front of Ronan the Accuser. This is actually the second one that I found. Well, the first one I found, but I found another one, but this was broken. So unfortunately, I had to return it. It was, yeah. So I figured, oh, maybe I can figure it out, but not so much. It was kind of in pieces, so that wasn't that great. But either way, so I got lucky ducky with this one, and so yeah, as far as Infinity War goes, the only thing I could suggest is do your homework, watch the movies. Obviously it's going to be a tall order watching all of them, but you know what, my understanding is this movie comes out on Blu-ray in August, and if you watch it now and you haven't done any of the background, it's gonna be confusing as hell. It's basically like watching the season finale of a show without having seen the prior 18 episodes. So you're gonna be totally lost, and it basically has that feeling. The continuity there is really tight. Like there are very few plot holes as far as, or stuff where they had to retcon because they screwed up on the writing somewhere. No, they've been keeping the detail extremely well, and they have callbacks to the like 8-year-old callbacks. There's like characters that pop up that I was surprised as hell, and it's so weird that none of that leaked. Marvel was really smart with this whole Thanos demands your silence, the hashtag Thanos demands your silence, and people were were literally avoiding everything just to avoid any spoilers. And you know what? Screw the people who were trying to troll and trying to spoil this shit. And not cool, man, because you're taking away somebody else's enjoyment, and that's not cool in my book. But anyway, so yeah, that pretty much sums up the review and this awesome unboxing of well, the unboxing wasn't probably that awesome, but the figures themselves were freaking awesome. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe, and on that note, I'm out of here.